outcry.com. We apologize for the late start because of the coverage of the Prime Minister's press conference live from Jamaica House, and that's where we start. There's been public outcry on the number of missing barrels of oil at the state-owned oil refinery PetroJam. This follows the damning report by the Auditor General, Pamela Monroe Ellis. In the report, it was noted that over 600,000 barrels of oil, valued at $5.2 billion, were not accounted for. Speaking a short while ago at the press briefing, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says a forensic audit will have to be done into the losses.
I'm going to once again, this time for the last time, direct the board to start the process to identify how can we lose 600,000 barrels of oil over 5 years, and to explain to the public what this is, because some people have said it's stolen oil, it's missing oil. And as I dig deeper, there could be the possibility of pilferage, and indeed, we have heard anecdotal cases of pilferage.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. We're hoping to join a reporter live from Jamaica House, but the press conference is just about wrapping up now at the office of the Prime Minister, and as soon as it ends, hopefully we will be able to join Andrea Chisholm. Let's continue. The mystery behind the murder-suicide involving a policeman and an elderly woman continues to unravel. The incident, which took place on the compound of the Islington police station in St. Mary yesterday afternoon, has claimed the life of 25-year-old District Constable Toyan Ormsby and 62-year-old Donette Maxwell. The details in this report.
Shattered and broken are few words to describe family members of 62-year-old Donette Maxwell after receiving the dreadful news of her passing. Miss Maxwell went to visit a friend's son who is in police lockup at the Islington police station when she met 25-year-old District Constable Toyan Ormsby.
On our visit up there, the guy saw her and asked her if she was Ramon's grandmother. She said yes, okay? Because she want to hurry up and get through, because she want to come down to come sell the match. She asked if him can make she get through quick because she want to do that. Him say yes, but when she finish, he want to have a word with her outside. Which she finished and ready to go down now. She went in the car, because my cousin car out there, and tell my cousin she come in. She took up her phone, so she'll go to the person for her number.
Miss Maxwell was seen having a casual conversation with Mr. Ormsby before two explosions were heard. The two bodies were later found on the ground. It's been alleged that the district constable shot Miss Maxwell and then turned the weapon on himself. The daughter of Miss Maxwell says her mother was scheduled to leave the island on Wednesday.
Mash me up bad. It break you up bad. It mash me up bad, bad, bad. It mash me up bad. Because we now look for this. My mother fly Wednesday. Wednesday I come, my mother go away.
Should have been gone.
Yeah, you understand? We now look for this. This not in anybody's thoughts.
She has also rubbished the claim that her mother had a relationship with Mr. Ormsby.
My mother don't know him, and I don't love her. I don't know nothing like them things that we see them put up on Facebook and I put in a newspaper and all of them things there. And I nothing like that. You understand? It's just unfortunate. Probably him know her, yeah, and see her coming up there on more than one occasion, because it look like he's up there in station. You understand? And I like we didn't know. Say something that will happen.
Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
And we return to look at the PetroJam report. The opposition People's National Party, the PNP, also had a press conference this morning on the issues surrounding PetroJam. Our reporter Herman Green was there and joins us live. Herman.
Yes, Milton, thank you. Well, as you said, the opposition responded to the whole PetroJam saga, and the leader, Dr. Peter Phillips, he kind of zoned in on the Prime Minister's presentation this morning. He pointed out that, well, first of all, he described it as inadequate and, quote, wishy-washy, end quote. He says basically some of what he's suggesting is basic common sense, specifically speaking to the idea that the minister should meet more often and he's going to mandate them to do so going forward. He said that is basically common sense, which should have been in place. He also said in terms of the misuse of funds, he expected more from the Prime Minister, more decisive action. He was continued bashing what was being uncovered at the ministry and at PetroJam on the whole issue, describing it as vulgar, extravagant, and lacking oversight. The former minister, energy minister, Mr. Paulwell, he was also there. They spoke to him about some of the issues that were there coming from his time coming over. Again, he said he had put things in place to deal with it, and he expected that the current administration, the GLP government, should have carried those on and put in place things to make sure that it doesn't happen. Well, in terms of meetings, lack of meetings and so on, he said he had put measures in place, bringing in a representative from PetroVisa to be there and be a part of meetings because video conferencing wasn't working in terms of having those meetings. We'll have more details on this presentation that the party had today in primetime news later on. But basically, they are saying what the Prime Minister did today, what he said today, was inadequate considering the gravity of what was uncovered in the report. Milton, it's back to you.
Herman Green, thank you. The parliamentary opposition has reportedly agreed to collaborate with the Education Ministry on the primary exit profile PEP exam, which replaces the Grade 6 Achievement Test, GSAT. A statement from the ministry says the chairman of the People's National Party's National Commission on Education, Elaine Foster Allen, has been invited by the Education Minister, Senator Royal Reid, to sit on the National Standards Curriculum and the Primary Exit Profile Review Committee. The invitation was extended by the Education Minister on Thursday.
We had a very fruitful discussion with the opposition and we all agreed for a united national front on PEP. My technical team, led by CEO Dr. Grace McLean, explained in great detail how the PEP mock performance task was scored and how, as a ministry, we are prepared for the first sitting of PEP in 2019. We're able to provide clarification on matters that have been the subject of much public discourse, namely what is meant by satisfactory scores, as well as scoring and placement for the overall PEP exam assessment.
And the Jamaica Association of Transport Owners and Operators, JATU, is expressing disappointment following the passage of the new Road Traffic Act in the Senate on Friday. In a release this morning, JATU noted that the passage of the new road traffic bill is considered a betrayal to the over 25,000 public passenger vehicle PPV licensed owners in Jamaica. It says it will further consult its lawyers to test the constitutionality of the bill. Under this consultation, JATU says special focus will be placed on the section where motor vehicle owners are financially responsible for drivers' infractions which are caught on video surveillance. Meanwhile, the organization says it also has an issue with the timely notification of ticket fines to owners. It says it's possible that based on the history of the traffic fine collection in Jamaica, an owner having over 100 tickets may not know of those violations after many months or possible years. 349 persons have been killed in 308 fatal crashes since the start of this year. Fatal crashes increased by 12%, while fatalities increased by 6% when compared to the corresponding period in 2017. That's according to the latest data released today by the Road Traffic Safety Unit. Pedestrians account for 21% of road users killed since the start of the year, motorcyclists 26%, vulnerable road users 58%. In news overseas, it's more worry in the European Union as the bloc's top court on Monday said Britain can unilaterally withdraw from the formal process of leaving the European Union. The European Court of Justice sided with the advice of its top legal officer, which declared last week that the UK has the power to withdraw its notification to leave the EU under Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty without the agreement of other member states. Details from the CNN.
This is quite significant because what it does essentially is enables those who would like to see the UK cancel the Brexit process or perhaps have a second referendum. It gives them a chance to voice that voice when, of course, we have the vote in a day's time more forcefully. So it could give cover, if you like, to those who would like to see the Brexit process cancelled. The idea being that a no-deal scenario is not necessarily the scenario that the UK is facing at the moment if MPs vote down Theresa May's deal. If you like, they don't have a binary choice just between her deal and no deal. They could actually just put Brexit on hold or cancel it altogether. From the government's point of view, the government obviously fiercely fought this case. This case was put forward by a number of anti-Brexit campaigners as well as cross-party members of some of those parties you mentioned in your introduction who are going to vote down the deal, including the Scottish National Party members. And essentially, the government has said that this is largely hypothetical because the UK will not be planning on cancelling the Brexit process. That is the status quo at the moment when it comes to the likelihood of a second referendum. Again, Theresa May has consistently said she does not want to call a second referendum. She said that the British people have had their largest exercise in democracy in the best part of a generation and that their voice should be heard after they voted for Brexit 2.5 years ago.
In sports, title holders Portmore United were held to a 1-1 draw by Harbourview in Sunday's Red Stripe Premier League action at the Prison Oval. Shivani Willis gave Portmore United a 20-minute lead. However, Peterlee Vassell tied things up 8 minutes later for the Stars of the East. Montego Bay United are now 2 matches without a win following the dismissal of coach Vassell Reynolds. Reynolds was booted following a 2-0 win over UWI, but the former champions have had to contend with 2 draws since. They were held 0-0 by Tivoli at Westpow Park. Mount Pleasant Academy scored 2 unanswered goals as they handed UWI FC their 6th straight defeat. Ronaldo, Rodney and Kesslon Hall were scorers for Mount Pleasant. In the late kickoffs, Cavalier and Reno ended 0-0, while Waterhouse defeated Dunbeholden 2-1. Arnett Gardens and Umberline will meet today in Monday Night Football. And that's Midday News. I'm Milton Walker. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.